If you like our video, click the button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides, visit us at www.teachucomp.com. Sage 50 Accounting's inventory features track the goods and services your company purchases and sells. As you make inventory related transactions, Sage 50 posts the information to the general ledger and adjusts the quantities and costs of the goods accordingly. The first step in the process is to add the items you need to track into Sage 50. As you add items, you can change the default information which appears and which you previously entered within the inventory item defaults as needed. To add inventory items in Sage 50 Accounting, select Maintain Inventory Items from the menu bar to open the Maintain Inventory Items window. There are up to 6 tabs in this window into which you can enter information: General, Custom Fields, History, Bill of Materials, Item Attributes, and Serial Numbers. The Serial Numbers tab is only available in Sage 50 Premium Accounting or higher. If needed to inactivate an existing item in Sage 50 Accounting, select it from the Item ID field, check the Inactive checkbox, and then click the Save button in the toolbar. To create a new item in Sage 50 Accounting, click the New button in the toolbar if needed, and then enter the item's ID into the Item ID field. Then enter an item description into the Description field. If needed to mark an item as being subject to commission, check the Subject to Commission checkbox. Next, select an item class from the Item Class dropdown. Every item falls under one of the item classes. Item classes define the type of item you are creating. Item classes determine how an item's costing information is recorded. After saving an item as an item class, you cannot change the item class. Let's review the different item classes you can select in the Maintain Inventory Items screen. First, you have Stock Items. You use this class to track traditional inventory items. This class tracks the quantity, average cost, vendors, stock reorder point, and quantity on hand. The Master Stock Item class is a special class of stock item that contains attribute information about several types of substock items contained within it. You use this item to maintain the substock items, as you cannot directly change substock items. The Serialized Stock Item class, which is only available in Sage 50 Premium Accounting or higher, is used to track inventory items that use serial numbers for identification. This class tracks the quantity, average cost, vendors, stock reorder point, and quantity on hand. You can also track warranty and recall information for these items. The non-stock item class is used for items you sell but don't place into inventory. Sage 50 doesn't track quantity on hand for these items. There is no costing method. The description-only item class is used for line item comments in an invoice. Nothing is tracked. The service item class is used to represent services you apply to your salary and wages account. This item class is useful for services provided by your employees, and you can enter a cost for the service. The labor item class is used to represent labor that you apply to your salary and wages account. This is useful for labor provided by subcontractors, and you can enter a cost for the labor. The assembly item class is used for package or combination items in your inventory that can be assembled or disassembled from other items in your inventory. The serialized assembly item class, which is only available in Sage 50 Premium Accounting or higher, is used to track package or combination items that use serial numbers for identification and which can also be assembled or disassembled from other items in your inventory. The activity item class is used to indicate how time is spent when performing services for a customer. These items can be used in employee or vendor time tickets when you plan on billing customers for activities performed by employees or vendors, meaning subcontractors. The charge item class is used to identify reimbursable charges incurred when performing services for a customer. These are used in employee or vendor time tickets when you plan on billing customers for reimbursable expenses. The General tab lets you enter the item's general information. Depending on the item class, some fields may not be available on the General tab. You also enter the beginning balances for inventory on this tab. To enter the item description that appears in sales forms and purchase forms, use the description dropdown to select either for sales or for purchases. Then enter the description to appear for the selected type of form into the field to the right, which lets you enter two descriptions per item, one which appears in sales forms and one which appears in purchase forms. Enter the sales price into the Price Level 1 field. For stock and assembly items, enter the last purchase price paid for the item into the Last Unit Cost field. Once a beginning balance or transaction is entered using this item, this field is updated by Sage 50. For non-stock, service, and labor items, enter the cost of sales amount to post when the item is sold. To set the costing method for stock, assembly, or serialized stock items, select either FIFO, LIFO, average, or specific unit for serialized stock items only from the cost method dropdown as needed. This cannot be changed after the item is saved. Continue by entering in the UPC SKU code for the item. If needed, enter a part number into the Part Number field. Then enter or select an item type of your choosing. This is used for filtering reports. To enter a description of the item's physical location, enter it into the Location field. Optionally, enter how the item is sold in the Stocking Unit of Measure field. This is optional as it is never used in calculations. Optionally, you can also enter a weight for the item. Weight totals can be printed on reports, providing you use the same unit of measurement for each item. Next, select the income account that is credited when selling the item from the GL Sales Account field. Then select the inventory account that is debited when the item is bought and credited when it is sold from the GL Inventory Account field. Then select the expense account that is credited when a non-stock item is sold from the GL Salary/Wages account field. This account is reduced and the cost of sales account is increased when a non-stock item is sold. Select the cost of goods account that is debited when the item is sold from the GL Cost of Sales account field. To set the taxable status of the item, select a choice from the Item Tax Type dropdown. Finally, for stock and assembly items only, enter the minimum stock number into the minimum stock field. This is the quantity at which to reorder the item. Then enter the quantity to reorder into the reorder quantity field. This is the default number of items to buy when reaching the minimum stock level. Then select the item's preferred vendor from the Preferred Vendor ID field. To specify an employee as a buyer of this item, select their employee ID from the Buyer ID field. To enter beginning balances for items, if setting up a company that had inventory as of the start date of the company file, click the Beginning Balances arrow. Entering beginning balances for inventory items is discussed in a later lesson. To enter custom field values, click the Custom Fields tab. Then enter any information for this item into the fields you created within the Item Defaults in the Inventory Item Defaults window. To view an item's sales and cost history, click the History tab. You can't make changes on this tab, but it shows each period history date, and for that date, the units sold, dollar sales, units received, and the total item cost. If creating a new item of the Assembly Item class, then click the Bill of Materials tab. If the item is not of the Assembly Item class, then skip this tab. An assembly is a group of products you sell as a unit. To create an assembly item, you must select the required component items and enter the quantities needed of each on the Bill of Materials tab. To print the items that make up an assembly as separate line items in invoices, check the Print Components on Invoice checkbox. To select an assembly item component, select the item ID of the first item in the assembly. You can use any stock, non-stock, description, assembly, labor, or service item. Then enter a short description of the item for reference in the description field. Then enter the quantity needed of the item to build the assembly. To add or remove component items for an assembly, use the Add and Remove button to the right of this tab. Make sure to enter all the items needed for the assembly. Alternatively, if creating a new item of the Master Stock Item class, then click the Item Attributes tab. For all other item classes, skip this tab as it is unavailable. On this tab, enter the primary attributes and secondary attributes for the master stock item. These attributes can include any attribute you need, like size, style, and color, for example. As you create the attributes, Sage 50 automatically creates substock items of every possible combination between your primary and secondary attributes. To create the primary attribute, enter the name of the primary attribute under the Primary Attributes section. Then give the first specific instance of the attribute an ID by typing it into the ID field. Type the description of the specific instance into the description field. Then click the Add button to add the attribute to the list of primary attributes. Repeat this process to add all the primary attributes to the list. To remove a primary attribute, select an attribute in this list and then click the Remove button. To create the secondary attribute, enter the name of the secondary attribute under the Secondary Attributes section. Then give the first specific instance of the secondary attribute an ID code in the ID field. Then type a description of the specific instance into the description field. Then click the Add button to add the attribute to the list of secondary attributes. Repeat this process to add all the secondary attributes. You can also select a secondary attribute in this list, and then click the adjacent Remove button to remove it. Saving a master stock item generates every possible combination of primary and secondary attributes as separate stock items called substock. These items appear within the Created Substock Items list. The item ID of substock is the combination of the ID code for the master item plus the ID codes of their primary and secondary attributes. You cannot delete a substock item without removing its attribute ID, but you can check the Inactive checkbox for any created substock item to inactivate it. If creating a new item of the Serialized Stock Item or Serialized Assembly Item classes, then click the Serial Numbers tab. If creating a new item not of the Serialized Stock Item or Serialized Assembly Item classes, then skip this tab. To set warranty information for serialized stock if needed, check the This item is covered under warranty checkbox in the Warranty Period section. To set when the warranty expires, enter a number into the spinner box and select a time increment from the drop-down within the Warranty Expires blank days, months, or years from Sale label in this section. In the future, you can look at this tab for this item to view the warranty and status information for the serialized merchandise bought and/or sold. The list at the right side of the tab shows the serial numbers of the items purchased within your purchasing forms. The serial numbers are entered within the purchasing forms at the time of purchase. Make sure that you click Save after entering any new item information to save it. To delete existing inventory items you never used, excepting substock as noted previously, open the Maintain Inventory Items window. Select the item ID of the item to delete, and then click the Delete button in the Windows toolbar. You can only delete items never used in transactions, though. If you cannot delete the item, you can make it inactive instead, as noted at the start of this lesson. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. See our full suite of courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides at www.teachucomp.com.